401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I am your host, Tom Schmidt, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio, just off the runway at the Ocala International Airport in the Brick City Beautiful, with the sun high in the sky and blue skies as far as the eye can see. Ocala, Florida, the best place in the state of Florida to live, in my estimation. I'm honored to be joined every Monday morning by Galen Unall, the voice of high school football in Marion County. Plus, he also works for Life South. He is brought to you every weekday by Palm Garden Health Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. Also, I'd like to thank Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. Penn Flooring owes every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. Go see their amazing showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. And, of course, Just Ship. They've flipped the script in shipping. Before, you had to package up your item. You had to get the bubble wrap, the tape, the boxes. You had to take the time out to do all the packaging. Then you had to go stand in line at the post office or the UPS store. Just Ship does all that for you. For a small pickup fee plus postage, Just Ship will come get your item. They'll package it up. They'll take the time to go stand in line at the post office or the UPS store. They save you not only money but time. And as we know, time is money as well. So save money. Go to justship.net. Galen Unall from Life South Georgia. Galen, good morning. And, congratulations on your Boston Red Sox pulling out a victory in a game that was strange, to say the least, the way it ended.
I've watched a lot of baseball. I've never seen anything where the ball hits near the ground of the wall, bounces off a player, goes over the fence. It's a ground rule double, and it saved arguably the season for the Boston Red Sox. It could be the most important play of the year for both teams.
Very, very, just one of those wacky things that happens in baseball, and it did save the Boston Red Sox season for sure, I think, because I think they lose this game.
Yeah, they would have been down 2-1, and now we're in deep trouble because we used Nick Pivetta, who's our Game 4 starter for I don't know, it felt like a whole game. He pitched his butt off. But, I think we're in real trouble.
A lot of people wouldn't think that with the way they won the game, but I think so too. I think that I think this is still Boston's got to they still have to play mistake-free baseball to get through this. That Rays team can just throw up points anytime they want to. That Rays team is really, really good. But let's talk. We only got you for about half an hour today, so let's talk about something very important before we get going. And that is,
Red Sox are up 2-1. They can close it out tonight at 7 o'clock.
They can. So. I'm not looking for that, but that could happen.
Extra innings, probably.
Vanguard extends its winning streak to 6 games this weekend, beating Tampa Jefferson 26-0. Vanguard looking really, really. They're hitting their stretch run. It looks like.
Yeah, Vanguard's got the best defense maybe they've had under Farmer, and that's saying something when you look at some of those squads. Offensively, they're still getting there. Most of their points are generated off of their defense, but they're getting there. Their offensive line is still the weakness of that team, and a team like Jefferson High School out of Tampa is not going to be able to exploit it. They just don't have the horses. We'll see if Bellevue does. That game's in 2 weeks. Bellevue at Booster Stadium.
Here's a stat for you. This is Vanguard's 6th shutout in the last 16 games. that defense is hitting on all cylinders. You've had 6 shutouts in your last 16 games. That's a pretty good defense Edwin Farmer has playing for him. Trinity Catholic, Fort Myers Bishop. Trinity Catholic wins that game 49-26.
Yeah. Big win. Big win. It's a program that needs to keep winning in order to make the playoffs. I think Brantley's trying to figure out, because he had so many new players in, right? I mean, when you get 22 transfers from other schools in the county, and I think the number's a lot higher than that, actually, but he got 22 from Westport and Forest. But they're hitting their stride. They're starting to figure out who they are. They have an identity. And in order for them to go anywhere, they have to get better quarterback play. And he had a pretty decent game on Friday night. So let's see what happens. See if they can keep rolling.
You were on the call for the Williston-Bellevue game, 51-6 Bellevue. Did you get a running clock pretty quick in this game?
Yeah, second half it started with the running clock because it's the coach's decision, and the coach decided to play the regular time in the first half. This game was over in the first 3 plays. Not from scrimmage, just the first 3 plays. There was some weird things happened. But,
well, the opening kickoff,
there was a safety.
Bellevue took the opening kickoff.
Return for a touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a safety. They had an opening kickoff for a touchdown, then a safety, then the kick on the safety. They ran that back for a touchdown.
Yeah, there was it was like 15-0 before the offense stepped on the field, right? And the offense didn't look great. Williston's not a good football team. They've got a couple of players who are really good. They're very young. All their talent is young, but Bellevue dominated that game, and it was nasty. I mean, it was raining. They're sitting outside because of John Ivory, but yeah. So there you go.
Well, the quarterback for Bellevue, Flythe, he had 149 yards and 2 touchdowns in the air, but then he also ran for 135 yards on the ground. So this is a two-headed monster Brady's got at quarterback.
He runs with purpose too. I like how he runs. It keeps his eyes down the field. Brady in our interview, it's like I'm making him watch as much Kyler Murray films I can get my hands on because that's who he plays like. So, and there are some similarities. There's no doubt about it.
And then Forest gets to 2-4 by beating Leesburg 29-6.
That's a better win than you think. They won a game. They needed to win another game, and let's see if they can battle back to 500. I don't think they can because they played Forest at the end of the year, but Vanguard at the end of the year. Let's see, but that was a good win for Robin in the Forest Wild.
When I look at the schedule, the thing that shows me is Forest at 2-4 plays Leon next week, and I remember playing Leon when they were part of the Gateway Conference when I was in high school. When you had 8 schools in Jacksonville and you had Lake City, Columbia, and Tallahassee Leon played in the Gateway Conference. Boy, how the mighty have fallen. Tallahassee Leon now 1-4 on the season, and this is their second losing season in a row. Not a very good Tallahassee Leon team that Forest goes and plays next week.
Well, and I say this all the time, but coaching matters. Coaching really, really matters at the high school level. A good coach, and I don't care what sport it is, doesn't have losing seasons. They don't, right? Because they're building a program, they're building a philosophy, they're building a system that kids buy into. And so whenever I see a coaching change, and then I see back-to-back losing seasons, then that's a real problem. And if you're a coach and at any high school sport and you've lost, more than you've won, that's your fault. And that's not coaching at that point.
So
I'm sorry, that is coaching at that point. Yeah. That's not the players.
Good-looking school prep. Denellen, Vanguard, Bellevue, all look to be trending in the right direction. Still got the showdown with Bellevue and Vanguard. I know Bellevue's having a good season, but I just don't see any way in 2 weeks that they come out on top of that football game. But we'll be building up to that. We'll talk more about that. We need to take a break now.
Sure.
When we come back, I want to ask a Native American, someone of Native American heritage, about today. I'll do that next, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday. Galen Unall from Life South joins us. He does every Monday. Thanks to good folks at Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation, and Just Shipped. Galen, it's a national holiday today, but one I got behind as a child, and a lover of American history, and a child of the educational means that were offered at the time. A holiday I was very fond of, and then I found out about the guy for real. Once I got to college and started doing some advanced history classes and everything, I found out wasn't a whole lot to be proud of from this guy if you really understood how he went about his doings in the New World. And we're talking about one Christopher Columbus, who instead of saying founder of the New World, can we say murderer of indigenous people? Is that easier to say? Is that more accurate to say? Of course it is.
A couple of issues with that. One, he never set foot in the United States.
No, but Cuba
okay.
and then Hispaniola.
Okay, so Jamaica is really where he called home. So why, my question's always been, well, then why are you having a day for a guy who's never been here? That's number one. Number two, I think people put all of it's a time where a lot of people like to go, oh, gosh, what he did was so horrible. What do you expect the guy to do? He's going into another land, right? He is conquering it for Spain because that's what he's been tasked to do. He did what he had to do. I don't, and this is I think the way, because of the way my mom raised me, is you don't blame other people for your lot in life. You just don't. That's the wrong thing to do. And too many people in society today blame their lot in life on others, right? You are a product of your own actions. So Christopher Columbus has no bearing in any way, shape, or form in my life. The culture of Western Europe came to the United States and won, right? It beat the culture of my relatives who lived here, 600 years ago. So I don't know. What else do you want? I'm always fascinated by by that one. Oh my gosh, well, I'm a victim of this. No, you're not. That happened a long, long time ago. Let it go, man. It's got no bearing on your life.
What people don't realize is Christopher Columbus was he was not good to the indigenous people that he found, but he didn't know whether they were savages. He didn't know.
True.
He didn't know what. Not originally. Not originally. His welcoming party. His welcoming party on Cuba. His 72 men that he took onto the land of Cuba killed every indigenous person that they met on the beach that day.
And again, that's he's conquering a people that he's never seen before. But look what he did to Jamaica. Jamaica was at the center of the entire hemisphere. And again, if Spain had agreed, it would have been the governor of Jamaica. Jamaica would have been the center of all of that Central America.
But he's not. He's not near as bad as Cortez. That's what people seem to forget. You want to talk about some bad dudes? Go see what Cortez did in Mexico, in the Mexico area and everything. Go see what he did. But Columbus Day was a day that everybody goes, how did we start? How did we get Columbus? You ask a very good question. The man never stepped a foot on the North American continent, in the United States and what is now the United States. How did we get Columbus Day? Well, we can thank Tammany Hall for Columbus Day.
Correct.
Tammany Hall, the government-controlled party that controlled New York City politics for 130 years. They started the first Columbus Day in 1792. They called it the Columbian Order. It was started by Tammany Hall. They held an event to commemorate the landing's 300th anniversary, 1492 to 1792. Italian and Catholic communities in various parts of the country began organizing annual ceremonies and parades in Columbus's honor. So this was not something that was done by this was done by the Catholic Church and a group of Catholics, led to the Knights of Columbus and everything. It was not always thought of as this big national holiday until Benjamin Harrison, President Benjamin Harrison in 1892 actually commemorated the 400th year anniversary of Columbus's landing with making it a national holiday. So as a person of indigenous heritage, Columbus doesn't concern you a bit, does he?
No, it's not. It's not something I think about. So, I mean, there are people in my family who get riled up about it, how, it destroyed their life. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, my people are living in the swamps or tar heels because they made tar out of trees and they basically lived off of the turpentine.
Well, I heard.
I heard. What do you want? I mean, we weren't an educated people. We knew a little bit about farming, but not much. We lived off of the land. We were hunters and gatherers. We didn't even have the wheel, right? I mean, we didn't even have the wheel.
Well, he gets blamed for a lot of stuff that's not his fault. And I heard a guy this morning. He was representing the Mississauga tribe, which is South Florida. He was on the news this morning, and he goes, Columbus landed in Jamaica, led to more people following over here, led to the colonization of America.
Sure.
It began the transatlantic slave trade. It caused death of millions from murder and disease. And he laid all that at the foot of Columbus. And I'm like, okay, Columbus wasn't the nicest guy in the world, but I'm not real sure you can lay colonization of America, the transatlantic slave trade, and deaths of millions from murder and disease at Columbus's feet.
Well, and what I'm always fascinated by is that people, scientists, archaeologists, historians have all figured out that Columbus wasn't the first one here.
No, Leif Erikson,
here.
Right.
He was the first one here
that went back and bragged about it.
Well, and not only that, was sanctioned by a government to go find it for them.
By the way, the same government that oversaw the Spanish Inquisition. Let's just clear that up. Isabella and Ferdinand oversaw Torquemada in the Spanish Inquisition.
So how long do you think it would have been before all of these major countries, the English, the English had they already knew Newfoundland was there. So it was just a matter of time. I mean, everybody knew something was there because everybody talked about it. So, I mean, what, 5 years? 8 years? It's the culture that he brought. And it's the culture that he represents. And again, we have to stop rehashing history. The history has been written, right? There's no reason to debate it. There's no doubt we all agree that Columbus never set foot in America. Whether or not he's the first person or not is irrelevant in my life. Just is. So you can call it whatever day you want. It makes no difference to me.
Just gives banks a day off. That's all I see it as nowadays.
That's it. Well,
There's a reason for
that's
banks to
why
close.
it's a national holiday, because they didn't have one in the month of October.
Yeah.
and they needed to balance it because they wanted 30 days, right? And then there are 24 days of banking. That's all this is. So the books are a little more even. Again, all these kinds of days, I don't really care. I think they're all kind of foolish. So whatever. I mean, like St. Patrick's Day is a good day. Okay, let's celebrate that. I don't care.
St. Patrick's Day, the day everybody becomes a drunk Irishman for 24 hours.
Well, I think all of these they're it's what am I supposed to feel? Is everybody supposed to come up and apologize to me today? Right? I mean, what do you want me to do with that
I would apologize, but I would apologize to
For
your
what?
parents.
What are you
I would
apologizing
apologize to
for?
your parents that they
Because
drew
of
the
me?
short straw and ended up with you as a child. That's what I'd
That's
apologize for. Okay.
That's fair.
Okay. It
That's
had
a
nothing to
fair
do with
point.
Columbus. Had
That's
nothing to
a
do with
fair
Columbus. Like
No,
your
I
wife,
think that's a
your
fair
wife
point.
deserves an apology today.
No, she doesn't.
Yes,
she
she does.
chose me.
For
Right.
for the lack of judgment, the minor lack of judgment she had the day she said yes.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
I-
But I'm always fascinated by that, right? It's like, okay, well, what for? Now, if you want to do something, then look at what the federal government that is still doing to indigenous people all over the country in these reservations. If you really want to complain about something, go look at their living conditions.
I don't know,
and their
Galen. I don't know that.
Socioeconomic.
Galen, that reservation right there on Orient Drive in Tampa, it looks like it's doing pretty well.
Say that again.
That reservation on Orient Drive in Tampa looks like it's doing pretty good. On Orient Drive looks like it's doing pretty good in Tampa.
Yeah, well, they're not in
that
federal
reservation in Hollywood, Florida looks like it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I understand your point, but go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, well,
Right? Go to Arizona. Go ahead. Where they're
go to
all they're doing
go to Connecticut.
is selling cheap alcohol and fireworks.
Go to Connecticut. That reservation looks pretty good. Go to Cherokee, North Carolina. That reservation looks modern to me.
Yeah, well, the people don't get any of that money.
No, well, I've said all the time, we trick the indigenous folks out of this country for some army blankets, some trinkets, and a case of liquor, and they're taking it back one casino at a time.
Amen, brother.
Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, Bloodmobile today, we're actually at the Summerfield Walmart. Come by and see us there. But as always, we're right on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. We are in emergency need of type O, so come by and see us and get the life, donate blood.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
We'll be right back after this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.